For nearly 2 decades, Kate Gosselin was the face of modern American motherhood. A woman who had turned the chaos of raising 8 children into a television empire. Millions of viewers tuned in weekly to watch her navigate the challenges of parenting twins and sextuplets, marveling at her organizational skills and unwavering determination. But behind the perfectly curated image of the Gosselin household lay a reality far more complex and disturbing than anything captured on camera. One of Kate's own daughters has stepped forward to expose the truth about what really happened behind closed doors. Hannah Gosselin's revelations have shattered the carefully constructed illusion, revealing a world of isolation, control, and institutionalization that no one could have imagined. Kate Gosselin's journey to becoming one of the most recognizable mothers in America began far from the bright lights of television studios. Katie Irene Kreider was born on March 28, 1975, in Hershey, Pennsylvania, a town famous for its chocolate factory and quaint small-town charm. She grew up in a modest household with deep traditional roots. Raised by her mother Charlene and her father Kent, who worked as a heating and air conditioning engineer, the family was not wealthy, but they instilled in Kate a strong work ethic and a belief that she could achieve anything she set her mind to. Long before she became a television personality, Kate pursued a practical and grueling profession. She enrolled in the Reading Hospital and Medical Center's diploma nursing program, dedicating herself to the rigorous training required to become a registered nurse. She specialized in labor and delivery, a field that demanded patience, compassion, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. Kate's life took a pivotal turn on October 5, 1997, when she attended a mutual friend's backyard company picnic in Pennsylvania. It was there that she met Jonathan Keith Gosselin, a young man who worked as a network administrator. The connection between them was immediate and intense. On June 12, 1999, the couple officially tied the knot in a ceremony that marked the beginning of their life together under tight financial constraints. The early years of their marriage were a struggle, but they were united by their love and their shared dream of building a family. The road to parenthood proved far more difficult than they had anticipated. Kate was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, a condition that severely disrupted her fertility. The diagnosis was devastating for a woman who had always dreamed of having children, and it forced the young couple to seek medical interventions that would test their faith and their marriage. On October 8, 2000, their perseverance paid off when Kate gave birth to twin daughters, Maddie and Cara. The arrival of the twins was a moment of joy, but the desire for a larger family remained strong. Kate and John decided to undergo a subsequent high-risk intrauterine insemination pregnancy. The procedure was successful, but the ultrasound brought news that would change their lives forever. Kate was pregnant with sextuplets, a medical miracle that came with enormous risks. On May 10, 2004, at Penn State Hershey Medical Center, Kate gave birth to 6 premature babies: Aiden, Alexis, Colin, Hannah, Joel, and Leah. Discovery Health executives saw the local coverage and recognized the potential for compelling television. They filmed 2 high-rating specials in 2005 and 2006. Due to unprecedented viewer demand, the TLC network signed the family to a series contract. John and Kate Plus 8 officially launched in April 2007, and the Gosselins became one of the most famous families in America. The show's massive success allowed the family to purchase a $1.1 million, 24-acre gated estate in Lower Heidelberg Township, Pennsylvania, in 2008. Kate parlayed her television fame into literary success, authoring multiple books, including Multiple Blessings and 8 Little Faces, both of which landed on the New York Times bestseller list. On camera, the family was presented as a perfectly synchronized unit. They renewed their vows in a televised lavish Maui ceremony in 2008, symbolizing the ultimate American dream family. The world believed they had it all. But behind the cameras, the cracks were already beginning to show. Behind the carefully curated image of the perfect family, a very different reality was unfolding. The Gosselin household was not a home in the traditional sense. It was a production set, and the children were not just family members, but employees whose lives were dictated by the demands of the cameras. Hannah Gosselin would later reveal that the home was operated entirely as a high-stakes business, with Kate explicitly warning the children that any misbehavior would damage the family brand. The children learned from a young age that their actions had consequences beyond the ordinary confines of childhood. A tantrum or a moment of disobedience was not just a family matter. It was a threat to the income that supported the entire household. The pressure was immense, and the children internalized the message that their value was tied to their ability to perform for the cameras. To preserve fragments of privacy during explosive household arguments, the children learned a unique defensive strategy. They would loudly scream corporate brand names like McDonald's or Target to legally force TLC cameras to delete the footage due to strict copyright and trademark laws. Hannah testified to Teen Vogue that filming was so intense and uninterrupted that she spent her entire early childhood believing it was normal for every human being to be followed by camera crews. In June 2009, amidst intense tabloid rumors of infidelity and filming fatigue, the couple announced their legal separation on a record-breaking episode watched by 10.6 million viewers. Following their December 2009 divorce, Kate retained control of the television franchise, rebranding it as Kate+8 and remaining the sole financial matriarch of the household. Behind the scenes, the young children faced grueling filming schedules, sometimes working late hours to hit network deadlines. Their childhoods were sacrificed for the sake of the show, and the consequences would be severe. The children missed out on the simple pleasures of growing up, replaced by the demands of a production schedule that prioritized ratings over their well-being. Kate frequently justified her strict household rules and continued filming by citing escalating legal fees from the divorce and the steep logistical cost of private schooling for 8 growing children. The divorce was only the beginning of a legal nightmare that would span more than a decade. John Gosselin engaged in a continuous 12-year custody war against Kate, employing a succession of 9 different attorneys and spending an estimated $1.3 million in legal fees. The court system was forced to intervene in ways that few could have anticipated, appointing an independent third-party guardian ad litem to monitor the household and advocate for the psychological well-being of the children. The custody disputes escalated to the point where police intervention was required. In 2017, Wyoming police officers were officially dispatched to an orthodontist parking lot when a major dispute erupted over who had custody of a then 13-year-old Hannah. The physical standoff between John and Kate was captured on police reports, exposing the extent of the conflict that had consumed the family. Hannah publicly stated that she began permanently refusing to return to Kate's house at age 12, explicitly citing the toxic environment and unequal treatment of the siblings. In 2018, the court officially granted John primary physical and sole legal custody of Hannah after she explicitly stated her preference to the family court judge. Hannah's legal exit created a profound emotional wall between her and her 6 siblings who remained with Kate. The siblings who stayed with Kate were largely estranged from those who left, and the family that had once been presented as a unified whole was now irrevocably divided. The most shocking revelations came during Hannah's appearance on Vice TV's Dark Side of the 2000s, a documentary series that explored the dark underbelly of reality television and provided a platform for Hannah to share her truth. She described a household where Colin was routinely separated from his 7 siblings, forbidden from playing outside with them, and forced to play in separate areas of the home. The isolation allegedly extended to mealtimes, where Kate enforced a strict household rule requiring Colin to eat all his daily meals completely alone at a designated station entirely detached from the family dining table. Hannah described how she and her siblings would sit together for meals, while Colin was forced to sit alone, separated from the family like an outcast. Colin corroborated Hannah's claims, explaining that because he was the only child who openly questioned Kate's authority and refused to perform for the TLC cameras, he became her primary target for frustration. His refusal to be a puppet for the cameras made him a threat to the carefully constructed image of the perfect family, and he was punished accordingly. At just 11 years old, Colin was quietly removed from the home by Kate and enrolled at the Fairmont Behavioral Health Institute without John's knowledge or immediate consent. Kate publicly claimed Colin's institutionalization was necessary because he had special needs and severe behavioral diagnoses, a claim Colin fiercely denies. He has consistently maintained that he was not a danger to himself or others, and that his removal from the home was an act of punishment rather than a medical necessity. While confined inside the behavioral facility, Colin managed to smuggle out letters to his father and reported to facility staffers that he was being physically maltreated at home, triggering an official Child Protective Services investigation. In December 2018, John successfully extracted Colin from the institution after a judge granted John sole physical and legal custody by default because Kate and her legal team completely failed to appear at the hearing. The legal victory was a turning point, freeing Colin from the institution and allowing him to begin the process of healing from the trauma he had endured. The family remains split down ideological lines. Hannah and Colin live completely independently under John's umbrella, while the other 6 children maintain zero contact with their father. The divide is profound, a permanent fracture that shows no signs of healing. John officially remarried Stephanie Lebo on November 23, 2025, in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Hannah and Colin were the only children in attendance, with Colin serving as his father's groomsman. The other 6 children skipped the wedding entirely. The absence of the other children was a stark symbol of the division that had torn the family apart. For Colin, standing by his father's side was a powerful statement of loyalty and love, a declaration that he had chosen the parent who had fought for him and protected him. Court documents unsealed in a legal battle revealed that Kate allegedly made 2 separate unauthorized $50,000 withdrawals, totaling $100,000 from Hannah and Colin's regulated Coogan Trust accounts. The Coogan accounts were established to protect the earnings of child actors, ensuring that a portion of their income was set aside for their future. The withdrawals were a violation of the trust, a betrayal that struck at the heart of the children's financial security. Kate admitted to the withdrawals in court, but legally defended her actions by claiming the money was used to survive and buy food, further asserting that her children actually owed her money for private school tuition. The financial controversy was another blow to a family already fractured by conflict, and it deepened the distrust between Kate and her estranged children. Colin later described the withdrawals as yet another example of his mother's disregard for his well-being, a reminder that she had always prioritized her own needs over his. This story has taken on renewed relevance in 2025 and 2026 as the conversation around child performers and their financial protections has intensified. The revelations in the documentary Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, sparked congressional hearings about the exploitation of child actors, while several states have proposed strengthening Coogan law protections in direct response to cases like the Gosselin children. The push for reform echoes Hannah and Colin's experience, a reminder that the fame their mother built came at a cost measured not in ratings, but in childhoods lost. Despite exposing her mother's household truths, Hannah maintains a functional, polite texting relationship with Kate, acting as the only child attempting to bridge both sides of the family. She has described her relationship with her mother as complicated, acknowledging the pain she has experienced while also seeking to maintain some connection. Colin remains completely estranged from Kate and his 6 other siblings, stating that while it hurts to watch Hannah mend things with their mother, he will never allow family pressure to dictate his boundaries or erase his childhood trauma. Having exhausted her multi-million-dollar reality TV fortune on legal battles, Kate allegedly moved to a lake house in North Carolina, where she works 12-hour shifts as a pediatric home healthcare nurse to make ends meet. Hannah and Colin have emerged from the wreckage with a determination to tell their story and to advocate for others who have suffered similar maltreatment. Their courage in speaking out has shed light on the dark side of reality television and the devastating impact it can have on the children who are forced to grow up in the spotlight. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the next video on your screen.